evening again. Want to welcome you to another edition of MLC Talk. Today is Christmas Eve. We know a lot of people are busy today, including us. So we're going to be having a roundtable conversation, an abbreviated one. But we cannot let the Sunday go by as we've promised in the past that every Sunday we must, meet up to our commitment. And again, we want to welcome again our brother Elijah Zina is here. He's from our studio. We now have a new studio there in Minneapolis. And as you all can see, our sister and her, she has a full name on screen, and we have a international studio there in somewhere in Canada. So Elijah, compliments, man. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas, Willie, and thank you. You always speaking born a couple, but however the case may be, couple will address you at the appropriate time. But speaking of Christmas, I kind of like really miss Christmas. Being held, like back home, the way we have Christmas is so different from the way we have Christmas over here in the US. Like I was online, like watching the St. Peter's Christmas cantata, and that just brought back to me like so many memories because I know like when I used to sing in the Martin Luther Choir and we would be organizing, these cantata and stuff to that, and we would go out there and families would come to listen to the different Christmas carols and stuff to that, you know, like that family, you feel at home, you feel part of a family. When these things are happening. So when I was watching that online, few people would go live with the program, Liquid Yamalo and then Kevin Fire, they all were going live with the program. They shared a snippet of the program as well. So that was very much like rewarding and something that I miss, for being back home. But Christmas brings about the joy of Christ, the birth of the Christ child. And as Christian, we celebrate Christmas to commemorate that birth around the world. So, being in the U.S., even though we're not back home, but we were celebrating our own way. you know, we do it, like do it the way when you're in the home of the bad, you hang there like the bad. So we would celebrate the U.S. way and just share. I don't know what you're doing for Christmas, but tomorrow, for us, um, we're gonna be going to my in-laws' house. We're just gonna cook and just hang out to my in-laws' house tomorrow all day.
You know, um, and like we said, it's a roundtable conversation. So as some of the comments come in, we kind of screen them and we'll respond to some of our, some of our viewers. And we want to say welcome to Royal Jerome Jala. He's, sending us greetings, and we want to say compliments of the season too, Royal Jerome Jala. Yeah, past president.
Compliment Mr. President in many tones.
it's, it's, Elijah
Very,
is
very cute.
Elijah is good. It's good you talk about,
Yeah,
celebrating Christmas back home, right?
yeah.
Few things like this afternoon. I had an opportunity. One of my buddies, he stopped by, spending time with us. He's traveling. So when I got back from the airport, I was kind of cleaning up. One thing ran to my mind at this time. Say, country man in the kitchen.
I am. Put your man in the kitchen.
Yeah, it's a country man in the kitchen.
Yeah,
Yeah, but
compliment of the season.
exactly. Yeah, but actually, I mean, celebrating Christmas back home is I mean, you can, to be honest, and I'm so grateful I'm here in the US, but you cannot compare to celebrating Christmas in Liberia. I'm telling you.
No.
It's nothing like celebrating Christmas in Liberia. At this time, you're hearing all of the roosters, the now on the rooster, but just chicken as whole. You will hear chicken crying. You will hear the goat, and we all waiting, man, for our Christmas clothes. We can't sleep.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, our
Like
Christmas
I was
clothes,
saying, like
man.
yeah, you feel a sense of community, and
Exactly.
especially where you expect that the neighbor. gonna cook and bring and send you food, and you're gonna cook and send them food, and
Yeah.
like just start sharing. Like you feel the oneness within the community, and that's something that we miss. Because in the USA, you're gonna cook nothing and send it to the next person's house.
And that's the thing,
Yeah,
and also, speaking of saying that, you be going to your
my
in-laws
in-laws.
house.
Yeah.
So for us in Baltimore, what we did was that, because a lot of, the family, most of us were in Baltimore. So what we did was that on Christmas Day, even on Thanksgiving Day, we will go to our aunt's house, the Tanus, General Tanu. So we will all cook food and we'll go there. So we carry all the food there and we just celebrate it the Liberian way. But again, we can't play the loud music and think we just be right in our own little bubble and just Sunday morning ourselves. But I'm telling you, Elijah, there's nowhere better to celebrate Christmas. I don't know for other countries other than Liberia. I'm telling
Yeah.
you,
Oh yeah.
yes,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
I
I
have
mean,
to share that view with other Africans around the world. Like,
right,
because we put a lot of energy into everything that we do as Africans. When it comes
right.
to partying, we put a lot, we put a lot of energy into that. When it comes to worshiping or church services, like we put a lot of energy into these things. Unlike here, everything is just kind of realization and stuff. What Big Brother Son is saying, Merry, Merry Christmas, family.
Yeah, read that out loud, Elijah, please.
Oh yeah, but that's my namesake. Yeah, Big Brother Son. He said, "Merry Christmas, family. My best Christmas celebration has always been in my in my interior.
Yeah,
Early morning service, then collection of food and joy. All men together and all women together. Yeah, eating and then prime
man.
wine. Oh, then the traditional play all night. All these
Mm,
activities are always violence free. Yeah, then the kids
yes,
come around for their Christmas. Yeah, just what we're talking about, Big
just not
Brother
only
Son.
and just walking
Yeah,
around.
like
So yeah, I
and
really do
I
miss
was
that.
sharing one of my white friends, and I
Mhm,
told him like the way you celebrate Halloween in the U.S. is the way
mhm,
we celebrate Christmas. Cause
mhm,
I just on Christmas Day we are sitting home like older people. We're waiting for the kids to come around, and then we can give them gifts. We can give them handout. Share with the kids. That's the time the kids gets to walk around in the community, like just moving in the Christmas clothes. So
mhm.
in Halloween, you do that here for Halloween. Kids are going from door to door, getting candies and stuff like that. But that's how we celebrate Christmas.
Absolutely, absolutely. So my my mother-in-law, this is her second Christmas, right? So her first Christmas, she just jumped into it, so she did not really feel it. So this is her
Okay.
second Christmas, right? And now she said, so what we're doing tomorrow? I said, well, Christmas we just gonna be we just gonna be
No, but we are going to cut the foods tonight in the oil.
I said, we just gonna be inside. I said Christmas is about gift and Thanksgiving about food. I said we just gonna be inside.
I know. I know.
She said, "Oh yeah, I miss back home." I said, "Yeah, Oma." I said, "I will miss back home too." But listen, before I know couple is ready to come in. What a guy need? Royal Jara, my man,
Mhm.
start teasing us. He's not
Forget
right now.
about that.
Hey,
The baby Boma is
Jerry,
enjoying
what
the
the
Simple River fish.
my man, Royal Jerry Jara, you need to stop this.
Mr.
Couple day,
President, you pay fine.
you
You pay fine, Mr. President. But you keep doing that.
on me, yourself, couple.
Yeah, my man, like I was telling somebody that's the only thing when I go back home. Like
Yeah,
I don't eat anything alcohol. Not
no,
alcohol, but alcohol oil. I don't
right.
want white oil. I
Mm-hmm.
want everything natural, like red oil. Yeah.
Yes.
I want fresh fish, crawfish, because we don't get those things here. Everything like it's not from God to man. We get it from the
Some
what
processed
what
era from the Latinos.
yeah, processed food.
Can you
That
imagine?
before you,
Tomato, man.
I'm telling
yeah,
you,
from
from man to man.
from machine to man. We
From
get it
machine
from machine to
to
man.
M. And look, Elijah, it beats my imagination. Say, oh, Chani mega African stew. What Chani meg?
Tell me about it.
I'm telling you. I'm telling you, man.
Yeah,
Go ahead, couple.
Compliment of the season, Elijah.
we should the same
That way,
couple.
Elijah won here.
Hey, Elijah, because you the man, you calling me Tete Brain. Oh, I know I
Oh, I said that. Elijah, that real partnership and phone against me. Oh.
yeah.
I told you you're picking bone at couple. She was coming for you.
I said, folks, our sister, you can see her hair is beautifully tied and everything, and we'll play her Christmas song again
Okay.
I
before
heard
the
that
end of the
somebody
show.
was flying over Minnesota.
Let me give my input.
Okay, okay, I'm quiet. I'm going to mute myself. Go ahead, give your input.
Yes, like we are discussing the same thing. The celebrating Christmas back home is something really wonderful. Like when we went at the church and we and Reverend had an appointment, we went out while we were driving, going in the high and said, "Couple, how do you people celebrate Christmas back home?" And we explained, and himself he explained how they do theirs, and it was like so much fun for them. So they want to service. We started lecturing again about this Christmas, and they had, we got a huge snow today. Since this morning, it's been snowing.
Mm,
Yeah, it's been snowing since this morning. Whole area is white. So
mm.
I would like let the people where Christmas have come to reality. Like every so yesterday, what ran to my mind, it was last night. What ran to my mind, you talk about people cooking
Yeah,
and sending food. So
yeah.
I was like, Mother, what are we cooking tomorrow? She
Mm.
said, Myself, I don't know. Like, you don't want to say. I said, oh, no. Then I said, I Liberia now, as soon as they pay, you get money. I know how many bowl of rice here.
I'm telling you.
So when you talk about people giving you food by high rent over what we were discussing last time, I'm like, wow, no one going to give up just even a bottle or a cup of water when I receive it yet.
Oh,
Okay.
my God, man, you can see it, man.
Yes, but at least you feel Christmas. Yeah, the only thing you see snow and everybody indoor. You're not even seeing nobody outside. You put your head outside the window under the snow, you will see everybody indoor. So what is the enjoyable part of it? But then they brag about the white Christmas to the extent you won't see this white Christmas at the end of the day, you don't see anybody out under the snow. So
I can tell you, no, couple, I can tell you right now for free in Minnesota right now, all of the white people outside because we don't have snow on the ground right now. They don't take white Christmas for fun. Yeah, they are trying. They
Elijah, you don't
want.
mean it. Elijah,
I
you
no,
don't mean
I
it. You
mean
got
it. Oh,
snow?
I mean it. They
You
want
got
white
snow?
Christmas. Yes, they want white Christmas. They want the snow
That
on the
climate
ground
change
when
is
it's
real.
Christmas Day. Right now, a lot of white people are not happy in Minnesota. They want white snow. They want the white Christmas. They want it. So
But
trust me,
what?
maybe by tomorrow morning, maybe we might get a little bit of snow and that will make them happy, but I don't know. But they want it. Yep. So couple,
so
it's not just where you are, but over here in Minnesota,
oh yeah,
oh yeah.
yep, I know. It's worse.
And then couple.
Everyone asking her, y'all will be back 7 o'clock. I'm like, 7 o'clock for what? He said, we having our Christmas service tonight. So I said, oh wow. By 7 I said, well, we'll try to be there. They are asking, how do you people celebrate New Year? He said, no, we don't New Year, we don't go to no church, we just
You
sit
see,
home.
you
Nothing.
see that?
Wow. But
You see that?
That's one of the second day for me. New
yeah,
Year's
No,
Eve. Well, you guys are at the church waiting for
I
New
mean,
yeah.
Year's
But that's
Day.
why I
And
said, I know.
oh man, over here you will spend watching night in your living room
Yeah.
and
no,
watching
but you see,
Steve Harvey in New
it,
York counting down for you.
it no, but you see, one good thing though, one good thing that I kind of I kind of miss about Baltimore is that the 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 folks there, we do have watch night service. We still maintain that labyrinth thing. So we do, yeah, we do have our watch night service. And speaking of that, this the next Sunday coming will be watch night service. And yeah, we'll be
But that
celebrating
depends though. if you are in the totally Liberian church, you will have that. But if you are in the white
Yes.
church,
Church,
sorry,
oh, let's
you're not having anything called wash night. Not true. It's not happening. But yeah, in Brooklyn Park and other places, yeah, they can have watch night services in the African churches. Yeah, they can have it. But if those of us who are in
yes.
white community, in white churches, forget it, man. If we want to have watch
Yeah.
night service, we gotta go up to Brooklyn Park.
Right, right.
Yeah.
So in fact, I was even trying to show this. This is from our the congregation in Baltimore. So the bishop there, Bishop Bill Go, will be. We try to bring him into everything. Bishop Bill Go is going to be the preacher for that evening.
Okay.
And it's, yeah. Bishop Bill Go is going to be the preacher for that evening. So yeah. So
That's
we're
very
having something
wonderful.
on. But couple, couple. Listen, this is your first Christmas, and it's gonna, and it is a white Christmas. So we want to see that snow angel, please. Please take a picture and send it to us. We want to see that snow angel. When you lay in the snow and
do a snow angel. Do a snow angel.
please do a snow angel and send it to us.
Do like that.
All
right.
Yeah, do a snow angel, please. I mean, this time around, I mean, you will get help taking pictures, so no problem. You can do snow angel and send it for us.
Yeah, I learned that somebody was flying, right?
I
Yeah. No, I mean, I was just sharing with Elijah that you know, when I came from the airport and you know, I ran straight and got on the shore.
Yeah.
But
And somebody is flying from his place, from his airport to another airport. So
sorry.
So somebody's letter to Santa gonna be, to accordingly.
Elijah saying to say when your Christmas is gonna be good.
You get know from the eve, right?
On the eve, right? Okay.
So when you see that flight ticket, you know.
I didn't call anybody name. I didn't say anything here today. So please don't. My hands are up. I only said if your Christmas will be good, you will know from the eve, because my sister also know how to track flight now.
I know.
Yeah. My sister
learned that way up there, man. But you know what? Like today,
couple of Go ahead.
Like today, you know, like we having an open discussion, like nothing major to talk about.
Right. Go ahead.
Also trying to set the stage for next year as we move forward. And there's some issues within our church that we would like to talk about deeply and stuff like that. But as of today, maybe the most reason of upcoming event is the issue of the summer camp. And we have been in contact with the young people back there, and I think the momentum is up. Young people that is registering, spoke with the president. I think yesterday we tried to and stuff like that. So yeah, so like I just wanted to talk about during our time on camp, you know, when we were not leaders. When we were not in the leadership position, our days on camp. when Peter Boy and others, they were the camp securities, and Brother Alexander Blackie, you know, all the big guys, you know, when they were in the leadership, and we used to go to camp. You know, it used to be fun. You know, we were humble, we were respectful in everything that we were doing, you know. But camp used to be really, 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 really fun. And one of the things that I really miss from camp, you know what that is? The Bible quizzing.
That's true. That's true. The Bible quizzing was one, but you know what? I will allow you to learn, and I will come in with mine, and I will say that No, go ahead. You learn first. Learn.
No, yeah, the Bible question used to be fun,
Mhm.
and then after like we used to have some real terrible answers with questions. I remember one time. See our brother Cook with double saying they were questioning and then they asked where Jesus was born and he got it and said Jesus was born in a pig pen. Jesus was born in a pig pen.
And what was that at
In Konola. That was
LTI?
in
Oh,
Konola.
Konola. Okay,
Yeah,
Konola. I
where
remember.
Brother
I remember
Evan when it was the national
the
president
national.
then.
I remember Camden. But let me tell you
Yeah.
something. I remember one time we had camp at LTI,
Mm-hmm.
and at this time instead of Bible quizzing, it was a debate.
Yeah.
We had a debate, and I think I'm not pretty sure, but I was on the team of BM. BM and myself were
Mm-hmm.
on the same team, but I don't know which team you were on. But BM and myself were
I
on the
always
same
be
team.
on St. Peter's team though. You guys are from St. Matthew.
Right, right.
But
B and I,
question used to the thing is that B and myself, you we were always in what they call uh PJP
right,
because Kim is kind of divided into different age groups and we were always in PJP and PJP was always like the most vibrant group on Kim. We
right,
were
right.
taking everything, quizzing,
Wait,
this, work. So it used to be competitive, man.
it was competitive. It was
Yeah.
always fun, you know. And
Yeah.
one thing is, Cam without Peter Boer,
I know.
out Peter Boer,
I hate.
and
I used
and
to
Peter
hate
Boer
hearing
at
a
the
whistle
center
sign
of
in the morning.
the team. Yeah, I don't know.
Before
I don't
Peter,
know
there was the other guy, Arab.
Arab.
Ah,
And interestingly, all of them
yeah.
from St. Peter's. No, no, they're from
No,
Barnumville.
Barnesville.
All of them from
Barnesville.
Barnumville. Yeah,
Barnesville.
I
Yeah.
misspoke. All of them from Barnumville. Arab
Yeah.
from Barnumville, Peter from Barnumville. And the thing about it, Peter always took his job serious.
They
Peter
all did. They all did. Like early in the
he
morning, you gotta go for rise and shine.
rise and
Like
shine.
when we have that experience, what real core is like. What real core is December core in Liberia now. Like when I travel back home December, like I'm in Liberia, I'm wearing short pants and other people are saying, "Oh, it's so cool," and I'm standing there, I'm sweating.
So,
That's
so
when
no,
like
you see
they say,
cool yet.
"Come outside and do rise and shine," and you see
Right.
everybody's kind of snorkeling, scrolling, don't want to go, but Peter, boy, Arab, the guys they were
They
on top of the
always make
game
sure.
and
They
the
always.
counselors like Brother Larry Mellon,
Yeah, Larry Malane.
Brother Abel Lewedi. Like,
Yeah.
Camp used to be really, really, really fun. And
Cam was
one
always fun.
of the guys that used to make camp really active was Peter.
Oh,
Peter Yagbawo from Phoebe. Oh man. We had a choir on camp called the Goto Choir. And, no, we used to get behind Peter. Peter would be making us do a lot of fun stuff, and
no,
like
yeah.
it just made camp so enjoyable, and young people always would looking up to camp come December from the National Lutheran Youth Fellowship. Like you remember our first camp when we decided to go to LTR.
Mhm.
That was a heck of a trip.
Yeah. And I think
Trucks, yeah,
I
trucks
think
upon trucks were
right.
filled with young people going to LTI. And that camp was a cleaning up campaign. And I thought
Mhm.
Director Gono was the director. Then I think it was, I think it was under Abel's leadership also. Yeah, when we went to LTI for the first time. Yeah.
Elijah, I think it was during that camp. It was at that camp we slept in tents, right?
Yeah, that was LTI was completely down. So
Yeah.
we went. It was a cleaning up campaign.
Right.
At
Right.
that time, Director Gordon was still the youth director.
Mhm.
When we went for that first camp, we cleaned LTI, we brush and other kind of thing, and then consistently we started going. Slong leadership, the late Slong peace Andre Arches, his
Wow.
leadership came. We kept going
Mhm.
to LTI, and
LTI.
then Derek Givler came on board. We were still going to LTI,
And,
and then
and and
during
at the
our
time,
leadership. we went to LTI, and then we started making recommendations so that we can go back to KP.
To
Yeah.
keep it right. But at the
Yeah.
time, right? At the time, we had an LCL open air bus.
Now you want to go to that one.
We had an open air bus, and you know what? You know what reminds me of the open air bus?
No.
This time it wasn't camp. We were going for a Monrovia District Convention, or in district
Okay.
go for assembly. So we're going for district assembly in New Hope, Buchanan.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So when we were going, we asked for the open air bus, but we were told that the bus had some issues.
Mm-hmm.
So Iba was the national president at the time. I think Iba was national president. So yeah, I want to believe. Yeah. So
I
they
think
got
I was
us
doing ABL's leadership. Yeah.
Iba's leadership. So they got us on some, some buses, and we went. When we got there, the late bishop, Harris, peace. So he came. We had a bishop hour. So we started asking him questions. We want to use the bus. We want to use the bus. So he said, okay, the bus will come. So he ordered, the bus came. And as we were loading up on the bus, those two, commercial buses also came, and we said, no, we got our own bus. So we're not gonna ride on any commercial bus. So we didn't leave
head into trouble.
We didn't leave Buchanan Town well. We didn't even leave Buchanan Town very well. The bus, guess what? The bus broke down. When the bus broke down, we went to
almost all the cars on LCL compound went to get on the highway.
And look, the next morning, one former government official, I think he passed away too, but he used to work, I think he used to work in the Chancellor government. So he was passing that morning, and we stopped him. So he stopped, and Abel spoke with him, everything. So he saw one or two buses. He told him, said, no, carry the pole to town. And Abel went to town, man. See, Hilo 1, Hilo 3.
All the cars on LCL compound went to Buchanan to bring the young people. During those days, the church was ready together, and people were really concerned about the youth work. They were, I don't know, that it was this kind of consolidated effort to get things going, get things doing, and stuff like that. But after years and things, kind of deteriorating and different conflicts within the church, people coming up with different high feelings and other kind of stuff. So it just put our church. It puts our church in a situation where it's hard for some people to make some certain decision, because like somebody would be thinking now, like how the country looking. Everybody in some kind of political camp. The other person is in that camp. The other person is in that camp. But in as much as people have interest when it comes to elections, but after the elections, man, we have a church. There should be a church after the elections. So put our differences behind us and move the church, forward. But you come today in the church, especially for the women department, man. I can tell you there's bad blood still in the women department.
Yeah,
there's real bad blood still in the women department.
Yeah, there is. And
yeah,
Elijah, I want to speak to that briefly too, right? I want to speak to that briefly. Speaking of though during elections, I mean, the church is not for of politics. Politics been in the church for a long time too.
Very long time. Yeah,
after the political season, we need to come together for the common good of our common denominator, which is our church institution, the LCL. So I mean, and speaking of that, I mean, it's not because I mean, every one of us here, we are close to him, but I would say this, that Abel Lewis is a prime example. Abel Lewis was on the side of Reverend Goba. Abel Lewis led the campaign for Reverend Goba during this heated elections. But guess what? At the end of the day, Abel Lewis today he serves on one of the board, strong board for LC. He played a critical role in this administration. So it is not about feelings now. Elections are gone. So now we
Yeah.
need to come together and work together, for the common good of our church. But you still see some of these, some of these hard feelings, and also talking about the women. Okay, and if we as a church, again, I want to go back to our acolyte prayer. I think it's the second prayer. Which says, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good work and glorify your Father in heaven. Okay, so we, as that light that
Mm-hmm.
Christ has called us to, if we cannot reconcile among ourselves, then how do we call other people saying that, we are church people, we live in a community? That's why Jesus said, if you see, I was hungry, you did not feed me, or I was in prison, you did not visit me. He said, but Christ, when did that happen? I mean, he said, if you didn't do it for the least of my brother, whatever you do for the least of my brother, you've done it for me. Let us put our egos aside. If it means that those in leadership will cross the street and go on the other side and say, look, let bygone be bygone. If it means that those who were suspended will come across on the other side and say, let bygone be. We need to do this. We need to put everything aside. We need to do this, for the common good of our church. And one thing I will say this, and I will stop. I know couple is in and out, but I will pass it over to you, is this, that some of our leaders too in the church, and Elijah, let's be blunt and honest with it. Some of our leaders too in the church, I'm talking like our pastors, they flame some of these, some of these ongoing issues that we cannot have any resolution to it, And case in point, I mean, if everyone got their own opinion, but I would say this, that you can't be preaching a sermon, and it's not a gossip. I'm saying Reverend Cully, Reverend Derek Cully. You can't be preaching a sermon and you have over 100 parages or 150 parages. Elijah served me right because you left from that pretty quickly when it comes to the parages. Okay, you cannot have over 150 parages. Then you want to mention two as if they are the conflict parages. And which, of course, these two parages, they are helping Simafi and Bannersville. They are helping the church so greatly. When it comes to contribution, when it comes to any other things, Simafi and Bannersville helping just as other parishes like Gaytown Parish and St. Peter's Parish. Everyone is helping. But you cannot say, just flag out these two. They are the conflict parish. If you take out St. Peter's and Bannersville, you still got conflict in the church. And those that were suspended were not only from St. Peter's and Bannersville. I understand people, not St. Peter, but St. Matthew and Bannersville. But there are people that were suspended from other places, like Salala or Salaye or Torota. So, I'm just saying that some of our pastors too need to be careful how they preach some of these sermons so that we don't continue fueling the conflict.
Yeah, I agree with you with it, and also, I think the church in Liberia, or the churches in Liberia, not only the Lutheran Church in Liberia, I think we have missed our position in society as being the moral compass of the society, because some of the things that we expect to speak to that are happening within a secular government or the secular society, and that we're supposed to speak to, and the society listen to us as a church. Those are the identical things that we as Christians are doing in our various churches. So if we are doing these things in our churches, how do we expect society to listen to us? How do we correct society if we cannot correct ourselves? And that's where we need to identify our role as Christians within the society, specifically in Liberia. Liberia, we have a society that is like sitting on a time bomb. When I say sitting on a time bomb, what I'm talking about is that you got a lot of people who are so tense, even
Mhm,
though the war is over in Liberia. But a lot of people in Liberia are suffering from PTSD.
mhm,
If
mhm.
you see the way in which people react to things in Liberia, the common things that you can talk about and resolve and not result into bigger conflicts, you find it exploring and exploring and exploring, and it gets so big to a point that you're like, we should have solved this problem from the onset and not even reached to this point, you know. But why you think that is happening? Because most of the people went through the war, they're traumatized, they are suffering from PTSD, and then young people who were born during the war, their eyes open to violence. And for some of them, the only way they can solve their problems is by retaliating and taking the law into their own hands. So, as the church, being the moral compass that we are out to be, we are to be there to start preaching these messages of reconciliation.
Mhm.
So, like the issue with the women, this is a situation that as a church we should have taken some decision that that were gonna be very radical, but it was gonna be the right thing to do. But you can have two people who were participating in the competition or running for a position, and that resulted into a huge conflict, cancellation of the women's convention, and then it came back for the rerun, and you allow one party of this conflict to still run in that race. So you did not solve the problem. If you really wanted to solve the problem, hey, the both of you got this problem, stay out of the process. We will have neutral people run into the process so that we can bring peace within the women department. There are other qualified women out there within the National Lutheran Women Fellowship. There are other qualified women there. So why you didn't go that route, but rather you allowed a party to the conflict to go again. So at the end of the day, it was an easy route because people were not happy. Okay, and people are still bitter. So I
Mhm.
think the leadership of the LCL, in order to solve the problem of the women department, there's a need to sit down and have a serious conversation with the women and even with the LCL pastors. Like, you as a pastor, you're not supposed to take side in the conflict. Ain't how
Mhm.
much I maybe you want to be biased, you want to liaise with somebody that you got some friendship with. You don't have to be biased in your sermon you're preaching. You have to be as plain and as fair in your message to the congregation or to the women so that your message can be received as not being biased. But going out and picking names and calling names and pointing out to people, um, that just flame the situation.
Mhm.
It makes some people vexed. It makes people angry, and at
Mhm.
the end of the day, did you help solve the problem
Right.
or did you help increase the problem? You just make the situation worse. So, as the church, we have to identify our role in society. And in order to regain our status in society, there are a lot of things that we need to put in place to regain our moral standing within society by correcting the mistakes that we've made over the years in our own backyard. So we
Mhm.
have to make those corrections, set things into motion, and then we can stand and speak to society, to speak towards corruption, to speak towards ills in society. And society would then use our examples of solving problems within our own institutions to correct their own mistakes. But I think the church is in a very critical situation right now in our country because most of our leaders have sold their integrity to
Mhm.
government officials. They have sold their integrity for little of nothing. And
Mhm.
we have to rewind or overhaul our religious leaders, our religious stand in Liberia in order to gain that moral standing in the society. That's all I gotta say to that.
Yeah, so absolutely rewind and we have to reset, and we have to do all of these things. But couple, I'll let you to come in. I know you wanted to say something.
Yes, we are talking about the way our church is going and the way the country as a whole, not only the Christian church, other churches, right? Like Elijah spoke about elections, people being having sides. These things happen. Everybody, that what they call democracy, everybody will not be for one person. But if we go through the election and one person wins, I think we all should come reconcile. You talk about the youth, the young people, we had elections over elections. But not up there, the young people were split. Not up there. the young people went at local head after election. That person that is victorious call a reconciliatory meeting and bring all of the young people together. And from there, we all move on. There was no day that came for election. And after that, have a divided youth. And it never happened all of the time. We serve the young people. I did not see that happening.
And you, oh, sorry, couple. I thought you had stopped. Sorry, go ahead.
On the line of the women had election. Everybody talk side. Everybody had a side. Yeah, perfect. The way it ended, people were not satisfied. Everybody had issues. Even down to the election commission was suspended. So if the committee will go ahead and suspend the election commission, on what ground the election commission was suspended? Right? On the ground, where you claim the election commission was suspended for bad electoral practices, why you allow the same two people to go in a race, you only consider one person to go in a race. So all the effort of suspending the commissioner, meaning they did not do well, right? That was the reason why you suspended the election commission. So if you suspended the election commission chair or those who carry on the election, why did you allow one person to run? Like you said, we are not even here to ourselves as a church. The church should have certain principles. The church should be selfless. The church shouldn't be selfish. We all serve the church. We all have work for the church. Nobody have work more than a friend in the church. Everybody sacrifice that time, that energy, like everything for the church. Why you a certain group of people feel that they don't belong to the church? Only a few groups belong to the church. For me, the whole issue of the women, I will blame Bishop Patmore. Bishop Patmore had a gap of authority in here to say that both people should not run. They shouldn't run. And that was perfect. That was all we were aiming at. That was all we advocated for. Even people went to his office and told him, even on the spot, on the very show, people called and people came out with those suggestions. But because they had said people who were telling him whatsoever, who feel that they were more lucrative than other, and now all of them regretting the issue now. All of them passing beyond going and talking. Oh, the shifting blame now. All of them shifting blame. Oh, that me or that other person. Meaning the dean of Monrovia District. He's another one. Yeah, the dean of Monrovia District in Chada. You don't run a group by the group. Yeah. Now he feeling it and he passing around saying even the Monrovia District and the Monrovia District how they can call it empowerment program is not yielding the result because people are not cooperating. Do you want people to be cooperating when you got a lot of division in the church? It doesn't work that way. When people are united, they come up with a solution. When people are divided, people are right. Then you expect people to work. Yeah, now everybody to work in our various marriages. We work in our marriages. The women went for a convention at the resolution. They should set a committee to solve what is happening. The women went to convention and everybody raised the issue that the way things went, it was not proper, right? So they should reconcile the women. They set up a committee to reconcile the women. They're going to individual, they're talking. Then the committee went to Annie and told Annie that Annie should pick up phone and call Yama to congratulate Yama. What does that get with your reconciliatory meeting that you carry on? Why should Annie call Yama and congratulate Yama? For what reason? For what reason?
When she did not participate in the election.
Yes, in election. Not just participating, she was marginalized. You know what happened? You know what happened? That couldn't even that point if it was Bishop Patmore who had won that election with 2 votes and somebody come and they cancel election. He was going to accept that thing. Then they like war in the Lutheran church. He was not going to accept it, and none of them can accept that. None of else pastor can accept that result. So if
I agree with you,
soften the ground. Use your leadership skill. Then they be not die for somebody. I mean, they just making a whole lot of remarks. You don't talk like that. Yeah, but we all decided to just let it go. It went a year now. We decided to just let it be. But some people still coming or like the same way that If you can help us, just leave us. You don't have to push them on other people. See, my friend, but I'm not the parents like that, like got problem. And even the private church that you need me say get problem, you are in a very parish preaching. You preach a sermon for the next state of relation. Nobody bother you, but you never banana battleground. So what a rationale in that? A battleground, but you peacefully preaching a sermon. Nobody bother you. Everybody clapping for you. Everybody happy for you. So we need to be sincere as a church. As a church, we need to be sincere. Martin Luther stood for the truth. He stood for the truth. My pastor and myself want to be here with my parish. One time he looked at me, he told me that, you know, I killed John the Baptist, they brought John the Baptist here. So I said, is that what you people want to do to me? That was the question I asked him. I said, also, because they brought John the Baptist here in the plate or what he did, is that what you people want to do to me? I said, but Reverend, then why are we Lutherans? Why do we follow the message of Martin Luther when he stood for the truth? Yes, that's why I told him he get mental here. I say we used to lecture to talk.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are not.
Yeah. So
got people back getting letter and other people accepting. Why back their letter? There was a certain group of people. The church gotta be the church. The church gotta stand for the truth. And we pray that we all continue to stand for the truth. We pray that our church should not be like where we are afraid. Afraid of who? Afraid of what? They said church.
Yeah, couple. Not to cut you off, couple. Like I said, there's a lot of bad blood within the women department, and with the I don't know when is the next bishop's hour that we're gonna have.
Bishop Hour actually is the last Sunday, but it's the last Sunday, but with the Christmas activities now, so we are hoping that he will come. Because I know it's been a long time since he will appear on the show. Hope that he will come this coming Sunday. If not, then we'll be looking forward to next year. But we're hoping that he will come here, at least to give us more update and everything.
Yeah, even if he does not come this coming Sunday or stuff like that, but there are series of situations or things that you guys talk about over the year.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And like ranging from the theft of property of the stealing of the money from the LCL central office by former employees, coming down to the issue of the women, that all these critical issues are there. So we would like want to listen to the bishop to give an overview of the status of the situations and what have what he has been doing over the years to mitigate some of these problems. Like I told somebody we were talking at, especially when it comes to the theft of property, uh, the case that is in court right now. I said, this is a test for the LCL. This is a test for the administration of the Faith Department administration, because the issue is that the LCL there has been a lot of scandals out there about accountability issues with the partners and everybody else. They got the LCL in the red. But in order to regain your start or your integrity with these institutions, you have to put into place corrective measures and institute systems that will help you track and report accurately on projects and everything else that you are managing. When you start putting in system and tracking system and other kind of things, and the partners are saying that you are working on those things, trust me, they will start gaining the respect and trust for the institution. But in the absence of that, and especially with the issue of theft, it is a big thing, and people are watching to see what's going to become the outcome of this case.
Mm-hmm.
Because if the LCR does not take any decision, make any concrete decision about these guys, and just allow them to go scot free, it's going to be hard for people to just give to the work of the LCL,
Mm-hmm.
especially people who work earnestly to earn their money and to support the work of the church. And you have few people sitting there and just stealing and eating the church money. Like I can tell you for free, the
Mm-hmm.
current administration, they took over an empty church. So they are trying to get the church out of debt, at the same time trying to run the church.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
You would not believe that a bishop does not have a plasma TV in his in his apartment, in his residence. The bishop does not have a smart TV in his
mm,
residence. Least to talk about it, the LCA gets out that he stays in is leaking on him. All right. So there are just so many things that this administration is going through. So we can hold their feet to the fire too much for certain things, but also they have to be accountable for certain things. And
but one thing, Elijah. Let me just kind of quickly, please. So like you've mentioned that you would the administration will have to set some policies. We have to take some actions
mhm,
that will show to partners that listen, we came and met this, and these are some of the things that we are doing.
yep.
For example, the issue on that money when the information came out that when Bishop went for the LWS conference, somewhere I think in East Africa or so, and Liberia was censored. Okay, the LCL was censored, not to even speak or participate because of paying that money. Okay, and they
Because
said that we were
they didn't
responsible.
that a lukewarm meeting. You see,
Look what,
The LCA is part of the LWF. She pays quota to the
right,
LWF, and then she
right,
pays
right.
quota to the Lucha Communion in Central and West Africa. That's
Central
lukewarm.
and West Africa. Right,
And I
right.
can tell you, I can speak to this, Willie, because when I served on the executive council of the Lucha World Federation, peace be unto his Ajay, the late Bishop Harris. That was one thing that Bishop Harris administration never took for granted, paying quotas and dues to all of the international groups that the LCL was or is part of, right? Because if you don't pay your quota to these groups, you lost your voice. You don't have voting rights in these meetings and stuff like that. So the Bishop Harry always makes sure that the LCA was paying. If he was going to these meetings, like I remember I took along LCA's due to Luqua, to one of the meetings I was going. I took it along to go and pay for the LCA. So he always makes sure that the money was sent, that we were current with our due payment. And that's
Right,
how you gain respect in this ecumenical body. Because
right.
if you don't do it, I don't know that you I don't know. And
No,
especially
no,
when
Elijah.
the
Right,
past bishop was serving as president for
right.
Lukwa, and then also as a council member of the LWF, but yet then still they could not pay the quotas to these international bodies. What was going on? You
Right,
know?
and you see, this is where I come in, right? And it's the same thing too with our incoming administration, with all of the concerns, like now with all of the sanctions and what have you. This coming administration, right? The incoming administration will have to work 2 times harder to gain that trust again that once like.
Yeah.
So it's the same thing. It's the same thing with this administration. The administration needs to provide updates on all of the. I know perhaps they're communicating with with partners or so, but it need to be made public so that it shouldn't be like the game as before. Like what's the status on, like you talk about this step, because I understand that, or we all honest, we all the information is out here that this money was not even actually the LCL's money. There was partners money. It was a project money. Okay, so we need to. So this administration need to come like 2-3 times harder, to actually make things clear and regain the trust again that we once had. Okay, that's one. Then two, again, speaking of this administration, like where they have their hands and feet all time. We're gonna be discussing some point during 2024 January. We're gonna be discussing all of these the leases and what have you. What's the benefit to our church? Is the church gaining or the church losing? In some other properties that we had. What's the status of these properties? And I will say this, that now I understand. Now I understand that why this administration has decided, say, you know what, instead of the bishop going to the 11th Street residence and we are gaining no income, he chose to stay on the compound and be
Yeah.
getting a little bit of subsidy that will come from them. Maybe it will go toward gas money or it will go towards scratch card or something like that. So I see the reason why this administration have,
Yeah, I
agreed.
also I also learned that
Mhm.
the current bishop, he has a plan of building a
Yeah, he
bishop
mentioned that here.
compound.
Yeah,
Yeah, a bishop
he mentioned
compound.
that here. Hmm.
Yeah, so where you have the bishop resident, missionaries or guest rest quarters and everything
Hmm.
else, that's
Hmm.
one of his biggest project that
Yes.
he wants to
It,
implement before the end of his term.
yeah.
So
No, he came on the show. He mentioned that, and in which of course again we're hoping that this coming Sunday that he will be at least, even if we we know it's New Year Eve, even if he's here for probably like 30 minutes, 45 minutes, that will be fine. But we really hope that Bishop will be here and give us updates, because now this is the thing, right? According to him, the plan is that the bishop will have this permanent residence. Almost he described it as like the White House or the executive
mhm,
mansion. Okay, the
mhm.
bishop will have his house there, the bishop quarter will be there. Then you will have guest quarter for guests that will be coming. And he said it, he said, if we travel to other partners, and they host us, why can't we host our partners when they come instead of sending them to a hotel and whatever? And I see logic in that. I
I
see
mean,
logic in that, but it's just again about just the resources, where the administration finds herself, a little bit tired or so. But again, once the information is out there, people will know that it is not the same 6 and 7. Okay,
no.
it's not the same 6 and 7. And let me say this quickly. I know I see a couple back on the screen. I want to say something quickly, and I wrote it down here. Talking about integrity and gaining our integrity, like you know, um, mentioning that some of the pastors, it's like, I mean, excuse for the better word, like sue their integrity or sue themselves. There's one thing that Liberia will forever remember: the late Archbishop Michael Pakla Francis
And Bishop Harris.
and
And
Bishop
the late
Harris
and the late Bishop
and
Harris.
the late Bishop Harris.
Yep.
He always spoke. Pakla Francis he always told the government, say the thing you're doing not correct, it's not correct. He said it.
Yep.
If you don't want to support the Liberian Council of Churches, that's fine. But what you're doing is not correct.
Yep.
Even the Interreligious Council too. But
I
you
did.
find out now,
Yeah.
how many of our bishop or church leaders you find out really speaking against ills in the society? Okay, how many people? Like the church should be leading the charge. Like here, okay, here even in the U.S., you find out that when it comes to advocacy work, there's one. I don't know if you've been to any one of them, or you know of it. The ecumenical advocacy days.
Hmm.
They beat down in D.C., and then one Monday they all go to Congress and engage these congressional leaders. I'm saying this to say that the church plays a very, very major role, even when it comes to climate work.
Yep.
When it comes to climate work, the church is playing a very major role, including our own church, the ELCA.
Yep.
But where is our church in Liberia? Where is our church? All these elections and everything going on. What I mean, where was the Liberia Council of Churches? I mean, just renting out, leaflet and flyer, that's one thing, you know. But actually speaking out is another thing too. You have to engage the media, come public and speak on some of the ills in the society and speak against some of them. But again, as we all saying that if 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 your hand on your head is in someone's pocket, you really can't say that the person gown is too long or the person gown is too up. You just want to
Nope.
dance according to the beat the person is playing, because your head is in there. You know, yeah. Papa, I see you came back on the screen.
Yeah. Yes, Woody and Elijah, the church plays a major role within our society. We talk about the late Bishop Francis and Bishop Harris. Those two people, they had the Council of Churches, had the government at their feet. Yes, they told the government the truth. But since that time, I think for now, Barry Reeves, I don't know, I haven't heard him most often. Well, the one that left before Barry Reeves, that one part he was messed up. Jokotu, oh, that one
Water
was,
Brown.
he did not, because he already had time. Even if you get your side, speak the truth. So for me, I see it like, don't even get involved into it. Because when you get involved into it, to speak the truth, it gives you hard time to in doing so. Yeah, come to our church. We had a lot of pending things, right? The last time Bishop spoke about them. The issue of the money, how far are they gone? The case in court. Are we pursuing those cases? Are we pursuing those cases in court? Or are we forgetting about it? Make the attempt. So if people want to come in or say, yeah, these people, they can prosecute people when it comes to mismanagement of government or of church money. Yeah. But if we all sit and just let it be, yeah, every time it happens, and we don't set an example, every time it happens, we don't take, end up, we don't prosecute people. So how would they take us to be? Bishop has a good plan by building the bishopric compound, or how you can call it. But indeed, again, we don't have the money to do so, right? We are depending on donors in doing it. So will donors continue to give you money when you cannot account for what they give you? No. So setting an example, it paves a way for you to get something in order to move to another level. You set an example, these people took cash money and they got prosecuted for this. They want you to guess everything. Yeah, at least they talk a thing. But if you just ignore it and you think you're waiting for donor again to bring another money that you cannot account for, it doesn't offer work for our church. It doesn't. So we need to we need to be a institution of integrity. We must have integrity. You must have integrity before someone comes to give you that money. You talk about our Bishop Emeritus who served on the Lukwa money. Lukwa funny, I attended that meeting, so money, they were charging parishes. There was a deadline, so I think Bishop need to come. When Bishop comes, he need to speak on that, whether that money was paid or it was not paid, or whether we have given him our status. You cannot be serving as a president for Luca and you cannot live to up to your obligation. You cannot pay. I mean, the church is just like the country. Yeah, like for us, Labura, EPA, we are signatory to a lot of treaties, a lot of conventions, but we cannot even pay our fees. So now when our people leave to go for a couple, they don't even speak because you must pay to the convention. Same as the church. Because I want to give you voice. I want to make you to push things out. I want to make people to even come to your aid. But when you're not doing these things, we expect people to come to you. No. So there are a lot of things that Bishop need to touch on. They do pass money if it were paid fine. Because parishes was taxed. I can remember that day. So whether we raise that money or whether we pay, I guess we pay, but I think Bishop need to come and speak about that too. Yeah, that's my little take on that issue.
Yeah, we will we'll follow up. Again, we'll follow up beginning tomorrow is Christmas. Tomorrow, Monday is Christmas. So beginning Tuesday, I know most Christmas like day people will, especially those of us from the interior, will want to go back to the interior, and spend some time. So I want to believe that Bishop should be up in the interior. So we'll try to reach out to him, anytime between Wednesday, Thursday, or we'll try to reach to him on Tuesday. We'll try on Tuesday, Wednesday, so that we can come up with a flyer. And as we all know, that Bishop Hour is a regular segment here on my Lutheran Connections. But it's one thing quickly, Elijah. And we're kind of wrapping up now. But one thing quickly, the last time we spoke with the young people, and we see that they are trying somehow, to use technology in order to enhance their work, and we think that there's a need for support from the larger church, the larger church to really help help this fellowship, because this is the thing that it is from this fellowship we have our church standing. The LY is the foundation actually for the church. Okay, because as we all grow up, we'll branch off. We'll branch up into two different main departments: either the women or the men department. So, but and the young people are going to come Tuesday. Tuesday they are going to camp, and as we speak, they had a budget of 7,000. I think a larger portion of that rests on the shoulder of those that will be traveling there. But the administration also still has that, I would say probably 20% that they have to really kind of cover. So, I mean, what do you have to say to that? The youth using technology to enhance their work.
No, I'm one of the biggest supporter of a proponent of the idea of the church of leveraging technology, because in this 21st century that we are in, if you're not leveraging technology, it means that you are living on the edge.
Mhm.
Technology is the way forward. Technology is the biggest thing that people are using nowadays to get things going. If you leverage technology, put into place systems, you see the whole issue about the idea of computer is to make your work easier for you. And there are different systems out there that you can use to make your work easier for you.
Mhm.
Like today we're talking about AI and everything else going on and everything else. Why do you think that people going as far as going to artificial intelligence?
Technology. Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, intelligence. You know,
Intelligence.
because the thing is that people are finding ways to make work easy for humans, so
Mhm.
that you have something to a machine to help you do your work. So like, because we are now leveraging technology, we are not using systems in our institution in Africa, particularly Liberia, even government institutions, like, they don't have an integrated system that communicates with one another, that you're able
Mhm.
to track your businesses, or you're able to track government revenue or institutional revenues and stuff like that. So if whether today you are appointed as the director for the HIV and AIDS program, okay, Willie now is the director. Willie buys a computer. The computer is for Willie. Willie is
Mhm.
using that computer to run the LCR program, but
Mhm.
everything on that computer is controlled by Wady alone.
Yeah.
Nobody owns the computer. Whether
Right.
you are fired from HIV and AIDS program, where he walks away with his computer, the
Mhm.
church is left in the blank.
Right.
What he was doing at HIV and AIDS, whatever documentation he had going for the church, it is his goodwill to
Mhm.
say, this is what I want to turn over to you, and this is what I don't want you to know about.
Right.
But take for an instant, if you have, like, in the society that we are, you work from home, I work from home, and
Mhm.
working from home is not just like I come and turn my computer on in the morning and just sit down and not connected to a global network. No, working from home is your computer system is connected to a global institutional network, and you are communicating with other people that are on that network through different systems, and you are having meetings, you are communicating through emails and different systems. That's why you hear people say, I'm working from home. It means that when you say I'm working from home, you get to your laptop, you go sit under your hut doing different things. You're not even connected to the internet. You say, oh, I'm working from home. No, that's not the thing you call working from home in America.
Right.
If you somebody tell you that I'm working from home, they have their computer connected to an integrated system
Yeah.
for the institution. And the IT department of that institution monitors
Yeah.
all of the activities on those computer, people who are logging in, people who are not logging in, and it's being monitored. But I know when you tell our people back home, everything boils down to no money, no money, no
Elijah,
money,
Elijah,
no money.
Elijah,
You know,
let me come in quickly on something, right? Sorry to cut you in. Quickly, I would say we had a conversation with the bishop in Minneapolis during the assembly.
mhm.
Um, One advice that we gave him, we told him, we said, we know it's expensive, right? But if the church has her own IT department, if the church has her own IT department, you stand the chance of controlling your own data as compared to outsourcing it.
And
So,
let me tell you what you get hold on right there.
mhm, mhm,
And let me tell you, in Liberia,
mhm,
when they say this person is the IT person for the church, the only mentality, the only thing people know is that the IT man is there to repair broken computer.
right,
That's the only thing they know about IT people. That you are there to repair broken computer or to
mhm.
install something on computer. No, IT is a very big field,
It's a broad field.
very big
It's a
field.
broad field.
So
So,
yeah, it's a broad field. So
very
as
big.
an IT person, you are building system, you are
Mhm,
writing program for the institution. You are building security code for that institution. You are protecting the institution website and
aspect.
creating website and everything. You have an eye on it. That's
Right.
what makes you the IT person of the institution. Not only to be sitting in one corner when somebody laptop get problem, they bring it to you and say,
Then they send
"Oh,
it
yeah,
to you.
care to the IT man."
No, so
No,
that in fact, that person will be referred to as a computer mechanic.
yeah,
But that's not so the church, when it comes to this, and that will be a conversation too, because we're going to invite Aliyah. Aliyah will come, Aliyah been here a couple of times. The church has the opportunity to have this, you know, the Lutheran University, because when the bishop was here the last time, a few other universities, like Luther Seminary and United Seminary, to partner with the church and some of our pastors back home to use some of the resources that they have here, and they will have to use technology. But now
yeah,
this thing, the 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 the, the, the church prior to coming, and the bishop will speak to that there's this contract that is out there from um from a member who's seeking a contract to control the church's data or the church's system. And that's what I'm saying, that if you should do that, you stand a chance to lose a lot. Because what if tomorrow you and this person don't agree? If you and the person don't agree, this person is just going to say, "Okay, thank you very much. I'm gone." And guess what? Now you left in the middle of nowhere. Where are you
yeah.
going to get your data? You're going to start from. And again, with the issue of technology, that's what we've been advocating, that at this time, I'm not even going to go to any low level person in administration. I will even go to the bishop. At this time, we should have bishop@lcl.com, bishop@lcl1860.com. We should have that domain, so that when Bishop Patmore leaves office, okay, when he leaves office, he will turn over that
That
that,
domain name to the
that
next bishop.
mailbox. He will turn it
Yeah,
over, and the IT team. Listen, the IT team, even he turns it over or not, that they will just reset the password, or they will just lock it to him. He will have no access to it. The next person coming will take over from there, and they will see communication between the church and Elijah. They will see communication between the church and couple, communication between the church and whatever partners that they're having. You don't have to go back to Elijah and say, "Please, man, load in your email and send me all the emails that you made." "Oh, I think I got this email, but I will try to send it from there."
Yeah.
How many people today are paying for extra storage?
I know.
A lot of people are not paying for extra storage. So guess what? Some of the email, they have problem with their mailbox, they will go and create a new mailbox. Oh, I
But
forgot.
Willie,
Yeah.
the thing is that just subscribe to Microsoft Word. Microsoft got an
That's
office
true.
down. Yeah,
Yeah.
you got Outlook. You got Outlook in Microsoft Word, and
Mhm.
Outlook is what they use right now.
Right.
And on Microsoft Teams,
Mhm.
you can use Team as the same way you can use Zoom.
Right.
So once you have the Microsoft suite and you have the team Microsoft Outlook for
Yeah.
your emailing system, like
Mhm.
that's a common system that you can just
Common system that you can
subscribe
get,
to.
and
Yeah,
probably like
it,
$12,
yeah,
$12 a month.
yeah.
Dollars a month,
twelve
or even
dollar
if it's
monthly
$6 a
subscription
month,
fee
it's
fee
monthly
you can pay. Even
subscription
Zoom,
account.
I don't know whether
Even
the
Zoom.
church has their own Zoom account. That
Right.
those are small things that you can
That the
just
church
pay
needs to
for.
look into. The church
Yeah,
needs to look
you
into.
pay for them and subscribe to them. If even you don't have that system, that means of paying monthly subscription, or maybe you don't have the bank card to do it in Africa, ask somebody in the diaspora, send the money to them, and that person will continuously update your system or update your subscription. Like I can pay for Microsoft Word for the whole year. I'm paying it somewhere around $100 for the whole
Right.
suit for the
For
whole
the
year.
most, yeah,
All
yeah, yeah.
right, you know, and that's a one-time payment. So if you use the Microsoft team, like I was talking to one of the leaders in the church, I'm like, Bishop don't have to leave from your office or reach to the secretary and say, "Hey, Pastor Maggie, I want to see you in my office right now." You can just
Teams.
pin you through Teams and say,
Yeah.
"Hey, are you busy or not? Can you come to my office?" Pastor Maggie, once he's sitting on his computer, will see Bishop's message and leave and go. If he does not want to meet him in office, they have a team meeting from their respective offices without even leaving.
Yeah.
So that's leveraging technology.
That's
And
every
our
yeah.
church needs to look into that direction, have an integrated system. But because people don't want to be transparent, people don't want to be honest, they make these things look to the leaders who are not fully aware of these things, make it look that it's a whole big thing that you can't do. All you
It's
need is
doable.
internet. That's all.
It's,
Just
it's
have
doable.
internet. That's all you need,
Oh,
Mhm.
and
Yeah.
that's all you need. And you can be flying through technology. So, like I have said that to the bishop and some of the leaders the leaders in his leadership, like you got to go that direction. We are in the 21st century.
And Elijah, just to interrupt a little bit. I'm sorry, just interrupt a little bit, right? The same thing you're talking about, like even with Team, Google also has Workspace, and that's where Aliyah is into right now. So
Yeah.
Aliyah right now, Aliyah has some accounts.
Hmm.
Those major leaders in Aliyah, including the president, the treasurer, the secretary, right?
Hmm.
They all have a domain in a central system with onealiyah.com.
Yeah.
So tomorrow, if President Dr. Murphy Anderson is leaving office, all of the information is still in there. You understand? It's still right in there. It's not his personal email address that he's using. He's using the organization's domain, the organization's mailbox. It is assigned to him for now. It's privately assigned to him. But if he's leaving, it will be turned over to the next person. And
Hmm.
that person will be able to follow from where the president stopped. Will
Hmm.
be able to follow from there and continue. So, there's an encouragement to our church back home. This is not something like that is done from over the moon. You know, this is doable. Like,
It
like,
is.
like, like what you're talking about, like it's just $100 for a year per an account. You can have like 3 accounts: the treasurer, the treasurer, the general secretary, the bishop, and you can also add the BA on their 4 accounts. That's $400 a year, 99 a year. That's $400 a year, and that and all of the data will be kept right in there.
Yeah.
All of the data will be kept right in there.
Yeah.
You don't gotta lose anything.
You get one note,
You
right?
got
One note is like a backup system for you in Microsoft Word.
there
So
you
you
go.
get your OneNote, you get your cloud backup.
Right.
Like
And you can just have those documents uploaded to the cloud and everyone can access it.
yeah,
You just download it directly from there.
yeah.
So I mean, our church needs to look into this direction. Like we're going into the 2024. Like you speak of artificial intelligence, and guess what? At my job, they call it assistive. No, um, yeah, as assistive intelligence. So
There
it's
you
not
go.
artificial, but assistive intelligence. So now, guess what? Before then, the when doctors will take time to look at the tooth and see this one if it got cavity inside, what have you. Maybe they want to. I don't know how they did it in the past, but the screen out. But now with the new technology, guess what? It just pinpoints it in there right there. You see it? There, right there, and just shows them everything. Make it very very easy and
Mhm.
you know. Sorry,
I said make everything just easy.
make it effortless. Yeah. So, Elijah, I think I see our sister going in and out, so maybe we can start wrap up on this.
I'm let's go.
We were talking, and then I saw somebody walking with cat behind her. I said, "Let the plane just land."
Yeah, concerning the issue of the email. Of recent, we had the same situation back home at the Ministry of Information, where the assistant minister cleared the whole office, and he said when he was going there was nothing.
Yeah,
He bought everything in the office down to the laptop. So, meaning a particular position, if there are some developmental issue in that laptop that's supposed to benefit the country, it are already gone. Because
yeah,
number one, the man is feeling bad that he party did not win.
yeah.
Number two, the man owns the laptop. He will not leave it in his office. So the issue of institution owning the assets or having their own assets is
It's
very
very,
important.
very, very important.
It's important. But this whole no money has, I mean, it have overshadowed everything. When you give someone a position, you got to provide equipment, you got to provide tools for them to work with.
Yeah.
You cannot allow the people to use that own tools. So tomorrow when he's going, he carrying it.
Yeah.
Because it's not for the institution.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But if you give, like for the email, you get a certain email to everybody, right? Tomorrow Bishop is leaving, as what he said, the admin will just lock it. So
Yeah.
they said, when they assign this email address to you, you are not to give it out as a personal something. All
Mm-hmm.
of them,
It's not for business purpose. Yeah. For
all
the
of
use of that.
office purpose, you
Mm-hmm.
don't do anything else with it.
Yeah.
And we have that at our office. Like everybody, most of us, they assign email to them. So every time when my boss, they can come, you gotta give me an email to send document. I say, what's that?
But I know,
Office,
yeah.
yeah, office related. She said, I said, but you got my email. Why would you say, I said, no, that's not. I said, no, my personal email is for me. The institution email, send it to the institution email. So today, I'm not there. All the person who will come will know that this I've been in your system, but this position is not for me, but it is for that particular position.
Absolutely.
So if we can just get the first top 4%, if we can just work on that, the first top 4%, to at least bring that position to make it look to dignify, to make it look good. Like indeed, when Bishop go out and say, "Oh, what's your email address?" When he gave me an email address, I say, "Wow, oh, the boy have to be." You don't have to give personal email address.
Yeah.
No, it also gives the office and make it very, very important. So if we
You know,
get
Weddy, I think we need to invite the IT person of the LCA on this show.
yeah,
I don't know if they check. I don't know if they check out IT person because if they check our IT department, then they check also the church. Somebody asking the church to outsource contract, or outsource.
They do have an IT guy over there. I think we need to invite the
We need to
IT
invite
guy.
him and have a conversation with them. Yeah, we need to.
Yeah.
yes, we need to invite the person, or they need to bring on board all our young people who have the technical know-how when it comes to IT. I'm sure they got some of our young people who into that area. What can help them,
Yeah.
and some of those things at the central office. For all of the time, everybody using their personal email address is a problem. Yeah, it is a problem. Because
It is. Yeah.
that's our goal. And I owe you nothing. I carry all the information with me. You cannot force me for it. Because personal email, I will not give you my password.
No, that's true. The personal email, I won't give you my password. Like currently, I know Bishop Ciancolo had, he was in conversation or communication with a whole lot of people during his administration. But if he was, again, I want to be politically correct. If he was using his personal email, then it's going to be difficult for Bishop Palmer to follow through because
he was using. When listen, Willie, when the late Bishop Harris was bishop, he was using his personal small eharris@yahoo.com email as his official email to run the Lutheran Church in Liberia. Same with Bishop Jensen, he used his personal email to run the LCS. The general secretary used a personal email. So everybody using their personal email addresses to run the business of the church. So there's no tracking system. You can't track anybody down because you don't have an integrated system. Everybody doing things their own way. So when there's a red flag here, there's no way that you can track that person personal email to know what they've been doing, who they've been talking to, XYZ. And you don't even know what they're saying. So if they leave the office, all the information gone with them. You can't get anything. They take the computer with them because it's their personal computer. And besides that, computers here, like Kopo was saying, and you get employed and that you're working from home, they give you a computer, that computer is connected to the general computer system. And the institution is tracking that computer. The day they fire you, that computer going to lock in your hand. You can't even log into that computer until you return it to the office. That's what they're gonna do. They lock that computer. You will not have access to it. Yeah, you can go in it, and then you return it.
Elijah, let me say something to you, Elijah. Even right, even currently, even if you currently work for the institution and you have
Mm-hmm.
access to the computer, listen,
Mm-hmm.
even to download certain files, they will send you they will send you information letting you know that they already know what you're doing.
Yep.
Any sensitive that you try to download outside, like for
Yep.
example, you can log on your personal computer with your with your works, credential,
Yep.
and have it in your personal, either your phone but if you try to download it, they already know. And another thing
Yep.
is thumb drive. You put a thumb drive on there, like for me right now, if I put a thumb drive on the device, boom, it takes your institution, data privacy or data management policy. Your flash drive is rendered useless on that computer because you can't do anything with it on that computer.
Nope.
You see,
You
so
can't the same thing here. I can't transfer anything from my computer to a flash drive. No
we
way.
cannot.
Can't
We
happen.
cannot do it.
Yep.
It stays within it. It stays within the institution. The thing is like a bubble. It stays right there.
Yeah, the people like the IT department will make sure like there's no Bluetooth connectivity on my computer.
There you
I
go.
cannot transfer anything from my computer to a flash drive.
You
All of
cannot.
those systems are disabled within the computer before they send it to you
Absolutely.
because they have to protect the institution's information and members' information,
Yeah.
especially with the kind of work that we do. So, like the LCO, you are running different programs, you dealing with partners' money and other kind of thing. You need to have an integrated system that you can monitor, you
You need
can
to have an
track.
integrated system so that way
Yes,
the people
that you
know.
can
You can
track.
even
Yeah,
ask the partner.
yeah,
You can ask partners. Say, listen, we 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 want to use this system. It cost is gonna cost us 500 a year. It's gonna cost us 500 a year. But listen, we got 250 or we even got 150. But we see
yeah,
the need to use it. Can you help us to fill out the 500?
yeah.
You know,
Somebody will be willing
I
to
need
do it.
somebody at least will be willing to say, you know what, let us do all. We started this already. We think that we've already paid for 2 accounts or we pay for 1 account for the bishop, but we see there's a need that the treasurer, the GS, and the BA or the bishop secretary we need this, or even the finance, the controller will need
Hmm.
this as well.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
we're currently operating on 2 accounts. Can you help us to increase it to 6 accounts? It's very important. They will see the need. They will say, okay, these guys, they are they have the sense of moving to another, another level when it comes to data management. It's the same thing, like for example, the youth, and I like how the youth did. But I would, it's just my advice that if they had done it from the district level, then that's fine. Because guess what? When they do it from the district level, you can put each tab you can, because the spreadsheet that came is the entire spreadsheet is just crumbled together. You have to scrub them out or sort them out by districts. But if you have each district sending it on each tab, you can have one district. That way you keep a total number. Even the 100 and some more parishes that we've been talking about since Bishop Dick's time, do we still have those 160 or 150 parishes? But if we do this simple registration form that the youth apply to their camp, registration process, we can have some data to say, listen, the number is increasing or the number is decreasing. Do we still have the 5,000 members at St. Peter's today? Do we still have the 1,000 membership from the days of Reverend Freeman, Reverend Orita? Do we still have those 1,000 or those 7,000 membership in St. Matthew Parish? We need
Yeah.
to set the system up so that we know we're speaking from from reliable data. We're speaking from it,
Yeah.
so that if we're making any request, we can say this is the raw data that we have, and this is why we are making this request. But again, we still keep coming and say, oh, the church been around 200 years ago, and we got 150 parishes. In fact, we got 200 parishes. Where's the data to show? We need to show that data. So it's
Yeah.
very, very critical. It's very important. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but again, man, brother, today again have been a great conversation. Though it's an open one, but as is often said that time. Our sister is back. I mean, I just received a mail and as we wrap up and I can just share with us. Yeah. Go ahead, Elijah. You're closing.
Oh well, oh yeah. Today has been wonderful, and I want to wish all of you guys a Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. I look forward to seeing all of you guys in the new year. Um, I just want to say to all of our guys, our people in Liberia, we miss you, we love you, and we miss celebrating Christmas with you. But we are thinking about you, and we're going to keep doing what we are doing. Even though we live in the diaspora, but our hearts are back home, and we always want to see the best come out of especially our church. We want to see the best come out of our church. We want to see our country doing better, so that's the reason why we're sitting here and talking all of this. We are not perfect human beings. We all have our own flaws and things like that. But somebody got to say something for something to be done. And
Mhm.
that's what we are doing here. So we want to wish all of you the Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Thank you.
All right, I would let couple to go with this one, but I would just couple will close us out.
That's my first. Why you rushing to play? What do you want? Rushing around.
Oh, okay, go ahead. Okay, all right, quiet, go ahead. Quiet, go ahead.
Okay, one that say at the first show, we have many young people involved in IT. That is from the president of the St. Peter St. Matthew Youth. So, want to say thank you again to everyone. So, our parish presidents, I guess they have been working. So, the district president, I know he's on his feet because Wednesday, our children will be going on camp. Yes, so I want to wish you all well and the director, to all of our counselors. I know how tedious it is to take care of young people. I passed through it, I experienced it. We get it hotter and it get all hotter. So that for sure. Yes, so I just want to say kudos to the leadership, the national leadership, and want to say, hope you people have a good time at KP. I will get back to you people like we promised that we're going to talk to people from now till Tuesday. I will communicate with the president, Mr. President. Please be patient with us. So want to say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. We miss our family. I miss my children. I miss my girls. But there's somebody sent me a video. I saw them just in the church. They were singing. I said, wow, my children so much. So Merry
And
Christmas, a Happy prosperous New Year to everyone. Everybody, this is our church. This is a church that we learn from. This is a church that we all sacrifice for. This is a church that made us. And this is a church that when we go out there, be able to say something. This is how far the church for us. So there will be no point in time we abandon our church. As people claim, or in heaven so that when they want to they lie in as much as everything that we went through or I went, it did not disturb me or it did not deter me from working for my church. Not working with the women doesn't mean that I'm not working with the church. I'm working with my church, parish. I just want to tell God thank you, and I want to say thank you again to everyone.
Thank you so much. But how my sister, how you turn the video off so we giving closing comment, sister. So I want to join my brother Elijah. I want to join my sister couple in wishing everyone a merry Christmas. I miss so many things about Christmas in Liberia. I also miss eating with him, and I like the point that yeah, I like the point that CM brother Sonny George put out there, that the men together and women together. It's been a long time I've not seen this. Men eating together, women eating together, and eating and holding the bowl.
you the
Eating
small
and
boy, you
holding
gotta hold a bull. Why
the
you
bowl.
eating with your big
Yeah,
brothers?
gotta hold the bowl. So and eating like this so that none drop on the floor. When you drop, then you will weigh your minute go one time. It makes all of no, to be honest with you, sometimes I just think of some of those things. It just yeah, I really miss all of those. Then to our church, the NLYF camp. Brother Peter Boa, I know you are very busy, man. You are Peter Boa is in the army, right?
He used to be.
He used to be okay. Brother Peter Boa, if you can just take one day, please, to visit the young people at this camp. Please. I don't know your involvement with the youth or so, but going to camp, whenever we saw Peter Boa, we say, oh,
Yeah, camp security.
camp security, we call it camp security, camp police. But I mean, man, it was always a joy going for our church events. It was always a joy. And we miss every one of you. And we just want to, we continue to pray for everyone and want to thank God for the opportunity that we can talk about this and raise some of the issues, about our church. Because at the end of the day, like Sis Couple said, that our common denominator is our church, no matter what. Our common denominator, is our church. But though couple did not give a Thanksgiving, I will give a Thanksgiving. I mean, why are you laughing for?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I just
Go
want to give
ahead.
a Thanksgiving.
Go ahead and give Thanksgiving on behalf of couple.
I just want to give a Thanksgiving. Safe, especially on this Christmas Eve, safe traveling mercy. God's traveling mercy. Yes, but I'm just excited that we had a safe flight and yeah, and everything went well. So yeah, so I mean our sister video is off right now. So again, man, Elijah, it was great again, having us here.
All the best for couple, man. We happy for couple, and we happy for couple. We wishing her all the best this Xmas season and everyone else. And we look forward to talking to you. Maybe because of the holiday, maybe we might not be on Sunday. Maybe we might be on. We not know yet. But come what may, we hope that you all have a joyous Christmas tomorrow.